Well, good morning, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk here. It is the 12th of April, 2021, day 391 remote. In fact, we're going to be remote here for a few more months as we build a new corporate headquarters here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We'll share some of the panoramic 360-degree view here toward the end of today's video. Looking at last week recap here of the world week ending 10 April on a National Retail Federation calendar. So this is big maps or trends versus last year. Here in the U.S., we were about 3.7 degrees warmer than a year ago, number one warmest in 36 years. So a very, very hot start here to April for the U.S. 77% wetter than a year ago, 14th wettest in 36 years, about the middle of the pack, about average. And snowfall continues way down, 81% less than last year, least in 7, third least in 36 years, so much below average. Across Canada, warmest in 12 years, so almost wall-to-wall warm, way much warmer than last year, much above average temperatures. Polar opposite in Europe, coldest in 18 years. You've probably heard about the epic freezes and frost that wiped out a lot of the vineyards and grapes in parts of France. Again, so probably going to spend more money there for if you like wines. Russia, about a degree cooler, coolest in 4 years. China, a little bit warmer, but still below average across China. Australia, about a little bit warmer, warmest in 3 years. They also had what would be called a willy willy impacting the western part of the country there. India, warmer than last year, and Brazil, again, continuing their cooler trends, cooler than last year. Maps inset left were trends versus average. Season to date here in the U.S., again, tornadoes are, well, we've had a couple of major outbreaks here, 240 to date, but that's still 13% less than last year and 16% below average. So nothing like 2011, where it was pretty epic, but again, it only takes one major outbreak to change these trends here. But overall, we expect this season to be similar to last year. So again, slightly below our average when all is said and done. High-risk areas are probably going to, again, be in that southeast corridor. Looking at the national weather trends, this big map here is year-over-year trends. So these are daily temperature trends. The bars showing November was much, much warmer than the year prior. December started to cool off late month. January was up and down in terms of year-over-year. February, not hard to see that polar vortex there in early mid-month. And then cooler start to third hottest March in history last year, so a little bit cooler start this year. But if we look at those trends chart right here, you can see actually much of the season, even to date, has been much above normal. We've had obviously the big outbreak for 2 weeks there in February for the polar vortex, but other than that, it was actually a mild winter for the nation overall. And again, we expect those above average trends to continue all the way through May. Chart inset left are the precip trends versus a year ago, so much drier than we've had this time last year. Looking at this week here, middle of April here, week ending 18 April, 5.1 warmer than last year, but still 16th coldest in 36 years. So we're warmer. That map inset left shows much, much warmer than last year, but last year was the coldest in decades, over 36 years. So freezing cold, epic conditions last year. So warmer than the crazy cold last year. 34% drier than last year, least in 4 years, 15th driest in 36 years, so below average precip. Snowfall, while it's down 67%, least in 4 years, below average. Got to watch for some snow in the Rocky Mountains, maybe the Dakotas. Again, so heavy mountain snows for sure here this week. So it'll still be wintry in the upper Rockies and extreme northern plains. Looking at next week here, about a half a degree warmer than last year, 17th coldest in 36 years, so a little bit below average. So northeast, while it's still running warmer, much warmer than last year, it's still a little bit on the cool side. 67% drier than last year, least in 32 years. Looks like we're headed for a very dry mid to late April period here, much below average. Snowfall, again, non-existent, 83% less than a year ago, third least in 36 years. We look at these trends on the world scale here. Again, we see the U.S., central U.S. is the cold spot. This is, again, temperatures versus average now. Northeast Canada, warm. Still pretty cool in Europe, warming up in Russia. Australia is continuing their cool fall trends. Precip map is inset left there versus average. We'll end here with a rooftop view of our new world headquarters here that you will see come July. It's going to be pretty cool, but we'll at least share the panoramic view here. And with that, folks, have a great week.